Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm here. I think. Right, let's see if we can get the game capture working. That's going to be the next great hurdle. That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? Oh my. If only things worked the way that you wanted them to, right? Wouldn't that be great? Whoa. Hey. Anything? No? Alright. This is working just as well as I'd anticipated. Why stream no working? Right, we've put it on windowed mode. And I believe that should be working now. I'm sorry about the little lines at the top. I suppose I could probably change that. No, it's not having it. It's not having it. Oh, OBS, you are a cruel and heartless mistress. But hello, folks. Hey, Pepe. Hello, Cryptic. And Joe4Play, of course. I think Savol was here a minute ago as well. You still here, Savol? After my teething problems. Oh, hey, Asterix, how are you? Would you prefer to be called Kiwi? I've never asked you that before, have I? I think we're in a position where it's going to work now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be playing some stock sins. We're going to be playing as the Vasari, which I'm quite excited about, if I'm honest. It's been a long time since I've listened to the hammy, overblown voices of the Vasari. Let's turn the music up a little. Why not? You hear that okay? I know, old school, stocky. It's about time. Well, I think for the duration of this week, the Stardock RTS AllStars offer is on, and there's a bunch of games that you can get for well, dirt cheap, to be frank. Sins of a Solar Empire and all of its DLCs together is £19.99, I believe, at the moment, and that's actually a pretty nice offer. I've got a link in the description below if you want to go to it. If you do click on that and buy Sins of a Solar Empire because you've watched this video and it looks fun, then I get a small cut of the proceeds. So if you haven't already got Sins and you like the look of what you're seeing today, then I hope you'll choose to buy it with my link. Oh, hello, Smack. Yes, indeed. I am Welsh. I think that's where we're going with that one. I'm not using the old screen tonight, I'm afraid, folks. There'll be no face cam tonight. I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards by a herd of angry rhinoceroses that have then brutally made love to me. It's been a long, hard day, and I look as exhausted as I feel. So, I felt that face cam just wouldn't do me any favours this evening. Also, it takes me ages to set up the green screen. I'm an old man, and I can't cope with that kind of behaviour. Cannot cope with it at all. Right, let's rock and roll with this. Yes, I'm streaming on YouTube as well. I think we'll go with... Ooh. I don't want to have a massive map this time. What about Crossfire? That seems fun, doesn't it? It's a straight shot to the enemy's homeworlds. Will you take it? Coordinate your assault with your ally to ensure your victory. Ally? I bet it's 32 planets. I think 32 planets is reasonable. Every planet in this crowded system is rich in resources, but fiercely guarded by their militias. A powerful fleet will be needed to make any headway here. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want any of these on, I don't think. I'm tempted by flagship, but I'm not going to go with it. Right, we're going to have everything on. Random events, quick start. Pirates will be active. We'll stick everything at normal speed just so we get that beautiful vanilla experience. This is still Sins 1, I'm afraid, Saval. I'm afraid. Sins 2 would just be wonderful. Now, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you are playing stock Sins, as you might know, if you remember, with all the factions, you get two options. You get a Loyalist and a Rebel faction. Now, we're playing as the Vasari, I've already told you that, and I'm tempted myself. Yes, USB device not recognised, that's lovely of you. I'm tempted by the Loyalists because they've got this world-destroying sausage here, the Vorastra. Grants access to the Titan Foundry and allows you to begin summoning the Vorastra Titan, a massive warship of immense power. Recovery of the Vorastra's powerful planetary lasers leads to increased planet bombing damage across all ships. That sounds fun. And what else can we do? We've got the Solitary Path, mobile rulership. If you've got your Titan up, you can never lose. And, of course, stripped to the core. Oh! Yeah, we're picking these guys. Oh, Caesar's raised his single eyebrow at me. Why are you raising your eyebrow at me, Caesar? Right, everyone else is going to be random. We'll just fight whoever comes. Right then, gentlemen, let's see how things are. I've forgotten how to play Sins.
Which way?
Which way? Explore. You explore.
Let me investigate.
You also explore. Looks like I haven't got certain things on. Ah, there we are. Now, as I tend to start, I always like to go with some Empire research. So let's grab one of those. We do have all of our Titans available to us. That's one thing that is fairly unique to the base game. Most mods choose to have you research your capital ships. Most people tend to start with the Jarosol Evacuator. Sounds painful, doesn't it? But I think we're going to go with a Cortal Devastator, just to have a nice, powerful warship to start with. And as you are always wise to do, we're going to grab a few skirmishers. That should do the job. Let's just take a look and see if we can improve things a little bit for us. Let's improve our salvaging. And phase-space monitoring I'm not bothered about yet. We'll take full Terran lockdown. And as I'm sure everybody knows who plays Sins on a regular basis, particularly if they do competitively, Caesar, we will start social specialising our homeworld in the relatively near future. Pepe says he finds the Tech Defensive, or the TEC. Oh, frigate ready. I find the TEC Titan to be amazing with the rest of the cap ships. Yeah, it really does operate very well. Smack, this is not a fan game. No, this is a game that has been out since it's been out for a little while. 2006.
Discovered a colonizable planet.
2009 or 2006. I'm not sure which. I think the original Sins may be 2006. Right, let's get that social spec on the go. We need some money.
We shall rule again. Structure complete.
I never backstab anyone. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we've got a Cortal Devastator here. I still do like the Sins designs. I think they do, like, from a graphical perspective, they started to look a little bit dated now, but I do like them.
My time.
Let's take... Yeah, let's take the old Power Surge. You can't go wrong with that.
I need orders.
You need orders, and I will give them to you. I need more ham in my voice. There is not enough ham.
Planet development finished.
Pirate bounties for the win. Yeah. We've also got the old random McGee's that should be popping by. We're going to need a Jaren Migrator. Let's not forget to build one of those. I'm going to build a couple more scouts. In fact, I'm going to build 3 more scouts. And then we should be ready to rock and roll. We're going to take this barren planet. And fingers crossed that is going to give us enough to get Arctic and volcanic occupation. Which, of course, there is an ice planet here. That's Ferris, of course. But we've got a nice Terran one there. That's good.
Have discovered a colonizable planet.
Is there a missile frigate class? Yes. Yes, there is. Wow, the base game. It's been a while since I've seen that. I know, Winter. I know.
Discovered a colonizable planet.
Oh, the ham. The ham is real. Anything but scouts.
Jump sequence.
Cryptic and Perfect World together made a Star Wars version. Would I play it? Oh, I wouldn't be averse to playing it, but it depends on it depends on a number of factors. It depends on the implementation largely, I think. Right, oh look, here's a missile frigate. Speaking of those, little Javalis LRM. You doing my metrics for me there, are you, Cryptic? Lovely. I don't even do my own metrics. I'm pleased by this. Immensely. Right, let's see if there's any more research that we can get done in the meantime. Ooh, I'll tell you what we will do. I'm going to let that battle happen. I'm not concerned about it.
Scouts have discovered a colonizable planet.
Alright, we've got the navigator there. Let's send him off to scout. Let's get these guys scouting as well. That is our colony ship right there. The Jaren Migrator. I do like this one. I think this is quite a high quality model. Let's just send him over to the corner. Let's continue with our social specialization.
Not enough crystal.
Not enough anything. I know that's actually a bit of a problem I'm having with Sins at the moment, because I think because I've been messing around with the AOTF menus for so long, I get confused about what everything does. Right, it looks like we're doing okay. We're not making a great deal of headway because there are quite a lot of enemies in this system. I think what we really should be doing is taking out those Hoshiko robotics cruisers. If we don't do that, then we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Let's continue building more Ravanastra skirmishers. Still got plenty of shields. I'm not concerned. The Hoshiko is going down. Good, good, good.
Scouts have discovered a colonizable planet.
Okay, that's one of the Hoshikos down. Let's take the other one. Oh no, it's not. I lied.
None can oppose me, except for the enemies that are opposing me. Absolutely.
Looks like we've already been found by someone. Let's see. It's the Hand of Ilus with a Seeker vessel. Oh dear, the Advent are here.
Research finished.
Most concerning.
More research is needed.
Just got to keep pumping ships into the battle sphere zone. Yes.
It's yours.
Alright, a little bit more onto the Hoshiko. Really need to take those down because they're supporting their fleet a little bit too well. Try to get another cap ship? I certainly will in the near future. We're not quite in a financial position to do so. I know the game is very, very cap focused, from what I remember of the original game. Oh, look at that planet.
Frigate ready.
Oh my.
My strength is yours.
Let's see how we're doing. Still plenty of shields actually on our cap ship. She's not going down.
My strength is yours.
Pew 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 pew. Intergalactic dibs. Oh no! So I'll turn the voice down in a bit. I'm just, hey Draconian. I'm enjoying the ham of the voice at the moment. Oh no!
I need orders.
I need orders. And maybe a mint. Yeah, in fact, let's turn it down now. It's already starting to drive me mental. Alright, let's bring it down to about here. That to there, and maybe the music volume just a smidgen lower as well. Because I can't hear myself rage. Hey Joseph, how you doing? You're allowed to say what I make you think of, Kiwi. That's fine. I think my standard voice is entirely acceptable. I don't think I need to regularly do a voice of that ilk. Yeah, we're slowly chewing through the enemies. Maybe it is time to get another cap. Let's see what we can do. There we go. And one of those. And now we wait. Yeah, that's exactly how the base game is. Small ships are just fodder. They're of no use whatsoever. The only thing that they are particularly good for is there are some support ships which do you some favours. Okay, so I believe we need 3,000 for each capital ship. Let's just check. Yeah, by and large. I think the next thing that we're likely to go for is the Skirantra carrier. It is Draconian. It's a very mean looking ship. Mind you, even the smaller ships look pretty brutal. And you've got to love the old tech designs. She's not even losing shields anymore, really. In fact, she's gaining more shields than she loses. Right, still got no access to warfare, but... Oh look, we've leveled. How lovely. Let's take some disruptive strikes. So what does that do? That, on a chance, has the ability to remove antimatter from enemy ships, preventing them from casting abilities, and their ability cooldown rate, which means their regeneration of it, I believe. Or is that ability cooldown rate? Oh, not antimatter, yes. That makes their abilities take longer to cast as well. Tech can turtle like absolute ballers. I think each faction has something lovely about them. The Vasari are kind of a nice middle ground in a lot of ways. I think they've certainly got some unique faction flavours when it comes to stripping planets to the core and not being able to lose the game as long as you have a Titan. I think that's quite an interesting flavour for the Vasari. And it ties into their, I suppose, their backstory. For those of you who might not know, and I won't blame you if you don't, in the very first game it was... stated pretty heavily and pretty hammily, in fact, that the Vasari were running from something in their own galaxy, which had forced them out and kind of killed the vast majority of their population. We always thought we were going to see that something. We always thought it was going to be an expansion to Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, but it never happened. Maybe that's going to be something in the highly vaunted but not confirmed Sins 2 one day. Looks like I'm not going to take the pirate raid. That's fine. Let's take that carrier. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly certainly an interesting thing. I'm quite surprised that nobody, apparently, somebody doesn't think they can handle a fair fight. Shut up. Yeah, I'm surprised that nobody made a mod that focused on whatever was chasing the Vasari. I think that would have been very interesting.
When I signed the Pact of Alliance...
Cryptic, thank you so much for hosting the stream over on Twitch. They weren't running from the Advent. The Advent ran away from the tech. They were originally humans, but the tech or the race or the people that made up the Trader Emergency Coalition, they didn't really like what the Advent were doing to themselves. So they were kind of ostracized. They left after a brief war for a long time, and then they came back in full force, and that's what you see them as now. And they're much more advanced than the tech in many ways. Right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, she's still gaining health. If you put that bounty on my head, you will pay Oh no, not me. Ooh. We'll have 1 fighter, 2 bombers. Always a good ratio. We'll also have the repair cloud. Nice and ready for us. Look at this! I love this ship. I absolutely adore this ship. This is one of the better designs. It feels like it could all close up, doesn't it? Almost like the Galactica does. It feels like these segments could kind of close up into a point and then it would go faster. That doesn't happen, sadly, but it would be cool. Advent do have attractive ships. Oh, hey, Brian. How you doing, my man? We got a rookie here. Welcome him to Cardassia. The question is, how will they top this game? I think if a Sins 2 is made, it will almost certainly top this game. Technology's moved on, expectation has also moved on. Sins in and of itself is perhaps not the most complex of games. It's incredibly elegant at what it does. The fact that you can go from this view where you're watching directly behind your capital ship while it shoots the hell out of the enemies and think, okay, oh, hang on, what's going on at my other world? Just zoom out like this and you can see this beautiful galactic view. In fact, if you had several stars, you'd be able to go to different galaxies and you could just zoom straight back in. Okay, let's see where this ship's at. Boom, we're right there. That is the utter simplistic beauty of Sins, and no game has done that so well, taking you from the micro to the macro and back again. It's wonderful, and if they achieve that again, should they ever decide to make Sins 2, I for one will be absolutely delighted, because having that in a fully modern setting, with all the technology that could be at their power, with a 64-bit engine, maybe using a new engine, because the Iron engine is incredibly dated now. We wouldn't want a 32-bit engine, would we? Right, it looks like we've more or less taken the enemies out from there. So let's get this colonised. Is there anything that we can do here? We may as well take the Space Holy McGee, I think it's called. And let's see if we can upgrade our homeworld a little bit. We'll take a little bit more social spec, because we like the moolah. We'll take a logistics slot. Don't you worry about the likes to viewers. As long as the people who are here are enjoying themselves, I don't mind how many people hit the like button. It's not an issue for me. I'm just here to entertain if I can. Ah, there she is. Cryptic says, because we've got a rookie in the stream, can you play with him? I mean, I think that would be up to his discretion, really, rather than yours. We have Planet Lockdown. Is nice. Alright, let's get our mines up. Excellent. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to go towards this ice planet. The reason that I want to go here is so I can take it and get over to that Terran planet. We can see that we have found the Adjun Imperials over here. Most concerning. They're only like 2 jumps away. That's bloody terrifying. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Let's think about giving ourselves the capacity. Yeah, nearly got the capacity to get another capital ship, which I think is going to be very useful to us. Cap heavy is the way to go in base sins. Tozzy says he agrees the fluidity of the game is amazing and the gameplay is pretty decent. What can they do better other than graphics and maybe small tweaks? Any ideas for technology this game lacks? For me, I would love to see direct customization of pre-existing ships. So I would like you to be able to, say, grab this capital ship, take it back to a dock like this, tell it to go here, and then make an upgrade and have visual changes to the ship, depending on the upgrade that you've chosen. Now, modders have proven that this is possible even with this engine. I believe that Weyoun 77 is one of the modders that came up with a system that did almost exactly that. That would be nice, having that kind of ship, that level of ship customization, which would, by the same token, it would allow you to customize your fleet in such a way that would benefit your style of gameplay. So you could ram big engines on the back if you wanted to go raiding, so your ships would be faster, or you could up your shield capacity, or you could just simply put loads of weapons all over it. Every choice that you made would have a drawback to that ship and indeed to your fleet, but would also have big benefits in the areas that you wanted to concentrate on. That would be really cool. Another thing that I would like is to see more done with planets. I think planets are very... Oh, look, there's a planet. There's nothing fascinating that they do with planets. Now, I think perhaps because I love Empire at War so much, I'd love to be able to continue pushing the mouse, rolling the mouse wheel forward and go into kind of a segmental map of the planet where I can place buildings onto the planet in order to have it give me more tax or have it help other things within that gravity well out. That would be pretty cool. So actually customizing your planets directly would be something that I would really appreciate as well. Oh my, that's a lot of enemies. We'll be fine. Hey man, we're cool. Sugar, we're not cool. Run away! Run away! It's only a bunny rabbit. Oh, we need another research structure. Oh, tits McGee. Let's grab another Imperial here. Ooh, we want trade. We want trade. Just calm yourself. Calm yourself, girl. You need trade. Let's take a little bit of resource sublimation. Excellent. We're going to leave a slot open there because I want a trade center. Oh, these are friendly. That's good. Let's grab ourselves a weapons lab because it's hard to say no to guns, isn't it? Have our ships got out? Come on. Just go. Go by yourself. It's fine. Fly, you fools! Woo! This is fine. Adding crew as a resource would certainly be an interesting way of going about the game. Now, I think antimatter and crew, they kind of serve the same purpose in many ways. But yeah, I can get that. Cryptic Streamy T, or it's actually Cryptic Stream YT, of course it is, would like a shout out. Hello, Cryptic. Cryptic also does some streaming himself, so be sure to check his Twitch channel out. Ooh, Guardians of Azarath is saying some interesting things here. One thing that allow for proper shipboarding, that would be fun. How about fleet battle orders and or formations? Well, yeah, more heavy customization of that would actually be very beneficial. At the moment, you've got a loose formation, a tight formation, or a normal formation for ships. You do that through here, like that. You can set the engagement range, but you can't set the way that the ships would set themselves out. You could have more options, perhaps on a radial wheel or something, that allowed your skirmishing ships or your lighter ships to go out first, or your heavier ships to attack in bulk, with your skirmishing ships to go around the side of the enemy. With a natural flanking maneuver, something like that. Of course, flanking doesn't necessarily have any direct effect in space, but if you have more ships with more directional weapons, so ships that fire heavily forward but don't fire very much backwards, or indeed only fire at the sides, etc., etc., flanking becomes a more viable option. I'm not sure why you're swearing there, Cryptic. Yes, there is a BSG mod. Do bear in mind that there is quite a delay on YouTube, so I will only see your chat a little bit later. Yeah, Fall of Kobold's very good. I would actually recommend doing the whole Sins of the Fallen together, and then you can choose the specific races that you want. I think if you've got the Colonials and the Cylons, it works really well if you also put the Transhumans in and the Rogues. Right, we need another capital ship because quite evidently I've been getting my buttocks handed to me. So let's do that. There you go, we can have another capital ship, and we'll probably build some light ships as well. What else can we do that is good for us? I think we've got a little warfare lab now. The Vorastora we're not ready for. Grants access to Canrak assailant frigates, combat frigates heavily armed with long-range torpedoes. Doesn't that sound fun? And the Korastra Destructor frigates, large frigates equipped with strong planetary siege weapons. Well, let's take the assailant prototype and let's make our hulls a little bit stronger as well. Why not? There is a pirate raid forming. I'd actually like the pirate raids to come to me. Oh my lord. Look what I haven't done. I haven't upgraded this planet. I'm losing tax revenue. I am a scrub, ladies and gentlemen. 120% scrub lord. Grosart says, is this the base game? Never played the base game, as you got it for Star Trek Armada 3. Yep, this is the base game. Still very enjoyable all by itself, and it's certainly got a different pace to most of the mods out there. In fact, I think the mods do a very good job themselves as in the regard that they offer different paces to different players. I've always been of the opinion that Sins of a Galactic Empire is quite pacey. You can really get into it very, very quickly. Star Trek Armada 3 is a little bit slower. Ascendancy is somewhere in between those two. It seems to be a kind of a happy medium pace. But when you do start building up in Ascendancy, you can build up really fast. Interregnum, that's quite close to the base game. Sins of the Prophets, I think that's in a class of its own, because you get action very quickly, but your ships die just as fast as they kill other ships. So you get pretty consistent action, but you're always kind of half panicking because your fleet is just getting absolutely buttocked by the Covenant. Girl Scrublord confirmed. I know. Talking about Kane. I think it was Hilo in chief that they were going to kill. They're my two favourite characters in BSG, by the way. Absolutely adore Chief Tyrrell, and Hilo is he's a very principled man, and I really appreciate that. either games or television series that show the struggle of morality. Highly principled people are always in danger, and they're often looked down upon in programs of that type. And I think Hilo was because he was so besotted with, I think it was Boomer, wasn't it? No, it was Athena. Because he was so besotted with Athena, it caused him no end of problems, but it never stopped him holding on to his principles. Beautiful. Get good, girl. I know, I know. I think he was protecting Caprica, wasn't he? Or one of Caprica's clones, possibly. Well, one of Caprica's other models. Right, are we in a position where we can... No, absolutely not. Bloody hell, look how much nothing we've got. And the planetary siege ships aren't really necessary at the moment because we haven't come across any enemy planets. As soon as we do... Oh, there's 2 pirate bases! My! That'll be fun. Squad leader. Why are you over here? What are you doing?
What now, Commander?
Good old Percheron light carrier. One thing that does frustrate me a little bit about Sins, particularly this this particular incarnation of it with the Outlaws, is you can't tailor the Outlaws to the type of planet. I think that was a terrible decision. I really think the Outlaws that came to a planet should be tailored by the nature of the planet itself. So if you've got, say, Advent over here on this ice planet, little... Back her off. Then Advent ships should go there. If you've got Tech over here, then Tech ships should go there. That would allow us to do a lot more with mods as well. Believe me. I think we might grab the Ranculus battleship next. Hey Declan, how you doing, my man? You're a fan of Boltar is a really complex character, and that's one of the lovely things about Boltar. Gaius Boltar. He's a supremely complex, convoluted, difficult character. He exhibits both extreme signs of heroism at times and utter total cowardice. It's wonderful. Why did Battlestar Galactica end? I think they got to the end of the viable storyline. When you have a show that is that immediately vaunts its end goal, let's grab that battleship. Then you have to approach that end goal at some point. If it was we're just going for a jolly throughout the universe, then they could probably have carried on for a long time. That's why many of the Star Trek productions were able to carry on for as long as they did. TNG, the ship was just doing its thing. The original series, the ship was on a 5-year mission, so you got a lot to play with. Deep Space Nine surprisingly went for even longer, in spite of the fact that it was largely static. They did quite well there, but they did pretty much steal the entire storyline from Babylon 5. So. I'm good, Declan. Thank you for asking. Very nice of you. There was a game in Kickstarter a while back that I wish came true. First person controlling any ship and walking around in them, and then with your fleet in a battlefield view. You are thinking probably of Flagship. I think it was called Flagship. Am I right, folks? Flagship was something I was quite excited about, and I contributed to it. But sadly, it wasn't to be on this occasion. I think they're still developing it. It's just going to take a lot longer because the Kickstarter failed. There was quite an interesting email I got the other day for something called something 9. I'll have a look at it a little bit later on when we're on a break, so I can tell you what the game is. But and I'll get one of the adverts up to show you as well for the game. Hades 9, yes. Oh, thank you, Pepe. Thank you. Yes, Hades 9 is still in development. I can confirm that I was offered a test version in an email a couple of days ago, which I'm more than likely to take up and have a little fiddle around with, see how I feel about it. I sometimes feel, based on what I've seen of Hades 9 so far, that it might be biting off more than it can chew and offering us too many genres at once. I don't know if that's the case at the moment because I haven't played it, but it certainly seems like a very ambitious project for a small team. I think it's a team of 4, I believe, the gentleman that emailed me said. It was himself and 3 other people. They quit their day jobs and decided that they really wanted to pursue this, which is hugely admirable, extremely risky. But I do wonder if they're giving us too many options, going from individual space combat to fleet combat to ground combat. It all seems like there's a bit too much. There are certain things that you could kind of trim the fat with. What's this? Oh, it's just the Dalmor bandits. We'll kill them. It's not a problem. Behold my creations. We'll get the support swarms, they're always good. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, so I get really passionate, don't I? I do forget to play the game. It's not good. And I can only apologise. Let's get a couple of Canrak assailants. Yeah, it's when you get me talking, folks, I forget all about what I'm doing. This is symptomatic of my life. But yeah, we'll certainly get a test version and we'll check it out at some point. Would you folks like to see what they've done so far on Hades 9? Right, there we go. Let's get a couple more Canrak assailants. Got a nice level up here. Let's do a bit of a microphasing aura. That's always good. Good for our fighters. Good for our ships. Oh look, we've got some friendlies have come in and they've started helping us. How nice of you all! Aren't you lovely? One more cap ship and then we're going to start branching out. Whoever put send by the delete button was a ducking genius. Somebody's on their mobile. For Queen and Country.
Missiles loaded. Frigate ready.
It's an interesting looking ship, isn't it? Right, what do we need? Oh, we need a fair amount of resources. No, we're going for it. Right, everybody, travel together. We are in agreement. Is that an old James Bond film? Yeah, flagship did look super cool. I'll tell you what I'm excited about at the moment. I haven't bought it yet, I'm afraid to say, because, you know, you've got to be careful with money in this modern day and age. Memories of Mars, or Memories from Mars. Looks really cool. It's got all the survival elements that I quite like, but it's on Mars, which is awesome. It's one of these survival multiplayer killy base buildy games. Did I ever serve in Her Majesty's Armed Forces? No, I'm afraid I did not. Hello, Termit. How are you this evening? Right, here we go. We're hot to trot on this one. We are commencing disintegration. Our enemies will not survive this one. Oh my. Looks like the pirates are after me. Something I'll certainly have to be aware of. I'm going to let this battle continue. I do have the capacity to make another capital ship, which we certainly will in a moment. That just needs to get to 400 and we're hot to trot. Right, let's just have a think. Let's take the Antorak Marauder. Still plenty of enemy ships, but we seem to be doing a lovely job. Everything is getting repaired by our ship here. Hello, Graham. You haven't missed too much. I'm just, I'm playing as the Vasari. I'm fighting. We're talking, in fact, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about some games that we're looking forward to or interested in. We talked about Hades 9, which looks to be an interesting game. Hopefully, I'll get a video out to you guys soon and tell you some of my thoughts on it. We've talked about Battlestar Galactica in some depth and which characters we like most. Yeah, it's been a nice evening. It's more talking than anything else this evening, and I apologise for that, folks. If you were looking for an incredibly exciting and vicious fight, you haven't found it yet, but you might do soon. Actually, yes, the voice of this captain. What shall we create? Behold my creations. Right, the Antorak Marauder is now complete. Based on where the pirates live, I think they'll be coming this way, through said ice planet. However, I'm going to leave this fellow here, the Antorak Marauder here. Just, oh, this looks so sleek. This is such a good ship. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a good ship, but, oh, interesting. Let's take Distort Gravity. That sounds fun. We'll take a fighter with him. I love this one. I'd forgotten how good some of the ships in Sin's base game look. Alright, let's just take... Ah, here are the pirates. Yes, I was entirely correct. There is a first time for everything, folks. We've got our capital ships leveling like absolute bosses. Let's get a combat swarm on the go. Let's also get ourselves a better power surge, because why not? If not, damn it, why not?
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Alex, thank you so much for subscribing. That's lovely of you. Gul, never use that voice again. You know I'm going to. I'm not sure I should do voice acting, Brian. Bombing the planet with a fleet of Mandator 4s. That sounds fun. I mean, probably not for the inhabitants of the planet.
What
I think we might just need to get back to our home planet. Because things look like they might get a little bit dicey over there. Luckily, we planned for this. The Marauder is ready. The pirates want to get it on. Let's get it on. Right, there we go. Hopefully they're going to soak up the pirates' interest until our main fleet returns to the system.
Our fleet has engaged the enemy. Pirate raiders approach one of our planets. Hostile fleet detected.
A Palpatine voice. I'm not sure I could do a Palpatine voice. You just have to say "do it" over and over again, really, don't you? I mean, every time I think of Palpatine now, I actually think of the prequel films. Sadly, it wouldn't be my choice, but I always think of him fighting what's his face, Mace Windu, and be like,
No, no!
"This is wonderful." Oh, I think you'll find this station is quite operational. Yeah, the Thalaron Pulse is quite effective. I will agree with you on that. Wholeheartedly. Let's get a better repair cloud and another bomber squadron. What? Because you can't have too many bombers, can you? There we go, the Marauder has done a good job. Hopefully she's going to level fairly soon. Unlimited power! Right, let's upgrade our weapons a bit. It is about time that we got a little bit more pow-pow. Fortification, not too concerned about it. We will take a regeneration bay, however. Right. We shall create an avenue into that world. Let's take it. Oh no, more research is required. There we are. Just go over here then. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think it's a good idea. Maybe. No, yes. We'll take the ice world. I'm playing the Loyalist because I want to be able to smash planets to smithereens. As far as I can tell, Cryptic, everybody's mum has a crush on David Tennant. He is thoroughly charismatic and thoroughly attractive, I'm afraid to say. Build a call, you heretic. I can't, Tozzy. Yes, I will be building a Titan, as and when it becomes available to me. I need to get to here first. Of course, as I'm sure you know. Am I in a position to be able to get trade yet? Where does trade live? Here. Oh no, I lied. Oh bloody hell, trade stations are ages away. Nah, sod that. Let's get ourselves some more military research stations. There we go. Enemy forces have arrived somewhere. It's only a single Javelis. I'm not overly concerned about that, if I'm honest. We will put a couple of turrets up around the planet. And maybe a regeneration bay or two as well. Just in order to make sure that if our fleet needs to come home, we'll sort that bad boy out. Of all sci-fi's favourite cap ship, Babylon 5 Warlock. The Warlock class I adore. Now, don't get enraged with me here, folks, but I don't really like Doctor Who very much. This could be an irritation that I could do without. Let's take one of those. Just letting our fleet take out these Kodiaks. A Bellator class Super Star Destroyer. Bellator's really nice, the fan designs that we've seen. Venator, Providence, and the Emperor class battleship. I think the Emperor class is probably a little bit ostentatious, really, isn't it? I'll try and watch the series. I'll let you know my thoughts if I ever get time. Right, ships, you're going this way. You don't have enough antimatter to do anything useful. Thanks for that. Looks like we're getting towards having our missile turrets finished, which is lovely. I like Wraith Hives and Lantean Aurora class vessels. Great ships, agreed. We're getting a lot of really, really nice ships here, folks. Keep going, keep going. Yes, we have another planet at last. Good lord, it took us a while. Let's not forget to do this time. And oh wow, look at the amount of crystal that we can get here. I wanted to say dilithium, but no, it's not dilithium. Let's buy a little bit of metal. There we go. Let's see what kind of resistance we've got here. Heavy. I think our little fleet can do it. Have we fought off the worst of our enemies? Yes, we have. Might just be worth me getting another turret. Lovely, lovely. Okay. Right, everybody focus fire. Oh, look at those missiles. How can you not like Doctor Who? It's un-British. I'm sorry. Right, that ship's down. Let's concentrate on this one next. Oh, if we're just talking about our favourite sci-fi ships in general, yeah, of course it is. I'm actually quite surprised that nobody's said the Normandy SR1 or SR2. Quite surprised by that. The upgraded ship that Susan Ivanova faced was a... I believe it was an upgrade. It was a Shadowtech Omega Destroyer. Oh, look, we've got some upgrades. Let's let you phase out the hull. I'm not saying you should do it. Okay, fine, do it. Let's give you the ability to make more of those, and we'll give you a fighter as well, just to make sure that we're covered. A Polaris, yeah, beautiful. It's one of Michael Wiley's fan designs. It's not an official design. Pepe's not a fan of Mass Effect. That's understandable. Yeah, it was one. It was an original model for the Polaris that that Wiley made for us. Yes. He'd already made a different version of the Polaris for himself. And then he made some upgrades and some design choices that would work better with Sins for the newest version of the Polaris, which is the one I think he's now got that on his DeviantArt, and of course it's in Star Trek Armada 3. Right, we have taken our enemies out on this world. Now the question becomes, which way do we go? We know that we have enemies to the left of us, enemies to the right. Here we are, stuck in the middle of the universe. Right, as always, maybe it's time to get another couple of labs. Let's see what we can do with the labs that we have now. We can get trade, we can upgrade our entanglement filtering. Sounds uncomfortable, doesn't it, folks? Let's buy a little bit of crystal. Yeah. Stock Sins, what is this madness? It's wonderful madness. I wanted to try out a little bit of Stock Sins so I could remind myself of why I fell in love with the game in the first place, and it's working. I am actually really enjoying myself. If I'm honest, I'm probably enjoying talking to you guys even more than I'm enjoying the game, but I think that's my nature. That's why I enjoy streaming so much. I do like interacting with you all. Is this wise? Probably not. No, we're going to go the other way. Are we? No, we'll go here. We'll go here. Okay, let's have one of those, Uh-oh. Oh, you pirate bastards! You absolute sausages. How very dare you? So here's a ship that we haven't thought of, which again I'm a little bit surprised that nobody said. The Ebon Hawk. What a wonderful ship the Ebon Hawk was. Oh, I've got some memories with that ship. I'm very well aware of this. Make a couple of turrets. I'm really suffering from metal. The Ebon Hawk, or Ebon Hawk if you like. Cryptic, tell me that you know what the Ebon or Ebon Hawk is. Depending on how you like to say it. I'm afraid I'm British and, you know, we came up with English before you guys, so you should probably just copy us, really, shouldn't you? There are lots of naughty men, an unacceptable volume of naughty men. Might even be described as Naughtymanville. Hey, Sierra, or Cetus, how are you?
More metal is required. Jump drive online.
Who do you think would win, Sovereign from Mass Effect or Sovereign from Star Trek, says Declan. Oh, that is one of the highly debatable things, isn't it? Oh, alright, Cryptic. For those of you who are watching over on Twitch, Cryptic says, apparently I need to... I need to shut the sausage up and entertain him. Ooh! Yes, Graham! The ship from KOTOR 1 and indeed KOTOR 2. Oh, she was wonderful.
Where do you send us? Your plans? Jump drive online.
Well, it looks like we're holding off the enemies quite nicely.
Search finished.
This is the one good thing about your outlaws.
Research finished.
Oh no, I don't require salutes, I'm one of the boys. Right, let's have a think about how we can improve our ships. I think we'll armor tank a little bit. Time to rebel against the English and purge the English grammar Nazis. Now, I hate to have to say this, Joseph, but you haven't started your sentence with a capital letter. You really wanted a full stop rather than a comma there. Both of the English is they're not capitalised in spite of the fact that England's a country and therefore it should be capitalised. And you haven't included either an exclamation or a full stop at the end of your sentence. How's that for grammar Nazi? I could just see Joseph hammering the unsub button. Mute skull. Thanks, does it? Gazanti Cruiser. That's a good one. The Expanse. Yeah. Everybody wants to drive the Rossi.
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Declan, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. You want me to be more savage, oil and sub? Well, alright. You need to give me some kind of subject that I'll get passionate about. Now, the kind of subjects that I do tend to get passionate about and start frothing at the mouth like a lunatic are anything to do with Fallout 76, as you probably found out the other day. It's always a good starter. Now, politics I'm not allowed to get into, as you know, because we're not allowed to talk about it on our server, but I'm very politically inclined, and I have some very strong political opinions, but it's not something that... it's probably not something that is appropriate for me to talk about on my channel, because we've deemed it as inappropriate for us to talk about on Discord, and you can't have one without the other. It's not reasonable, is it? Let's get some more tax. I want some more tax. A Donager. Yeah, beautiful. I think the cheese factor of Doctor Who was at an unfortunate level. It wasn't so cheesy that it amused me, but it wasn't serious enough that I could take it seriously. So it was in that really unfortunate band right between those two things, where I found the cheesiness of Doctor Who a little bit frustrating at times, and it kind of turned me off a little bit to the series. I resubbed to Heckle Joseph. Seems reasonable. Oh, Declan, why would you do this? Conservative or Labour? God. It's like choosing between chalk and cheese, really, if I'm honest. I'm happy to say that in the last general election I voted for Labour, and that's because I found their policies to be preferential over the Conservatives. I would, personally, I'm very into the idea of helping my fellow man, if you like. I would much rather go to work and find a little bit more of my money it goes as tax in order to ensure that vulnerable adults and in fact vulnerable people in general are protected better. I would like to see the NHS working at full capacity and ensuring that people are looked after in the best way possible from a health perspective. I would like to see us investing in our mental health services more, because there are a lot of people out there that suffer with mental health issues, and they are not getting the help that they need in the UK. I live in Birmingham, or just outside Birmingham in the UK, and homelessness in the city is becoming more and more of a visible issue. Homelessness is often something that is largely ignored by the populace because it's an inconvenient truth that some people are left behind by the system that we have in place. And another common truth about homelessness is the fact that there's a much greater proportion of homeless people who have mental health issues. If we were investing more heavily in mental health via the NHS, then it's possible that we would stop these people becoming homeless in the first place, and that would stop them having a really torrid time. Many people who are homeless, they become addicted to alcohol or various other substances, and it's yes. Anyhow, universal credit. I think it's certainly not working at the moment. Well, you're not too far from me. I used to work occasionally in Worcester. I used to be a manager for a company that did caring and stroke rehabilitation, and we had a few clients down in Worcester, and I occasionally went down that way. Well, that's the way that we should all be. I don't know about anybody else here, and I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or insulted, but there seems to be a propensity in the media of the UK, not just of the UK, but of the West at the moment, but really seems to dehumanize us all. It makes us, oh God, pirates. And it makes us seem less compassionate and less caring. We focus... Oh dear Lord, I'm being attacked from all angles. This is not what I was hoping for. Let's grab the possibility of more ships here. Let's also grab a bunch of assailants, a bunch of skirmishers. We will set the rally point to over here because we're going to have a real hard time otherwise. Hopefully our Garda flak frigates, etc. can hold them up for a little bit. Oh, it looks... Ah, damn. Cap ships, stay where you are. Stay where you are. Damn you.
Those ships have left phase space. Missiles loaded.
See, now, I think this is one of our problems, actually. I can tell that none of you are serious about what you're saying at the moment, but what in the world is he talking about? Right, let me just pause. Because this is something that is important to me. We have a propensity in the West at the moment to think along partisan lines. Now, when I say partisan lines, you ascribe yourself to a particular worldview, even though you might not agree with everything about it. So the people who swing slightly left with regards to policy, they go all in on the left, and the people who go right, they go all in on the right. And they both forget that each side, they're people. I was, in fact, I was reading a post by the famous gentleman who is in the process of, well, was in the process of creating Axonar. I can't remember. Alec, help me out here, folks. His name's Alec something. Alec Peters. I read a post by him on Facebook a little earlier in the day, and he was blaming. This is in the US, of course. He was blaming all Republicans for the decisions of the party, which has left a lot of people suffering effectively in Puerto Rico. And yet, at the same time, that isn't reasonable. If you're a Republican voter, it doesn't make you callous, it doesn't make you uncaring, and it doesn't make you cruel. Some of them must be like that. Of course they must be. They have reasons for voting the way that they did. It's eminently plausible that you might disagree with those reasons, and some of those reasons might be fallacious reasons. They might not be good reasons to vote that way, in your opinion. That's fair enough. But to demonize an entire group of people who voted a particular way because of the actions of the few in power is so utterly counterproductive. It just entrenches opinions. If you are, if for example, if you're a lefty, and you want to term it that way, if you're somebody who ascribes to the views of, say, for example, Antifa, which their sub-goals, admirable, of course, anti-fascist. If you berate somebody who is Republican because he has espoused a slightly right-wing view, if you do that, if you berate him, if you call him scum, if you call his family scum, do you think that is going to make him change his mind? Do you think it's going to bring him over to your worldview? Of course it's not. It's absolutely not. It will further entrench his views, and it will further polarize him from your opinion. And it just hurts the whole process. People need to start working together and stop blaming each other. Ugh, sorry. I'm sorry, folks. See, I told you I got passionate. This is why you shouldn't let me. Oh my lord, that's a lot of ships. Right, let's. What do I want to do here? Oh, that's my ship now. Oh, here it is. Get it.
We are in agreement. Research finished.
Right, do we need to go back here in order to protect from the pirates? No, we're okay. We can push forward. Let's push. We are in agreement. Oh no, I completely accept that, and there are always going to be a few, frankly, pretty awful people. That's very much unavoidable. There are awful people out there, and there are people with incredibly bigoted views. But that one person or a small group of people does not everyone make, as you might say. Hey Tao, how are you?
Immense disintegration. Our supporting fleet has joined the battle.
I'm good, Ethan. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think things are okay, Ethan. We're not really making a great deal of progress, mostly because I had to pause the game so I could get political. So I apologise for that to all who were involved in my little rant there. We better just build a couple of these. Make sure we're a bit safer than we would be otherwise. Right, are any of these ships actually surviving? They're not really, are they? Let's stop building these. It's not worth our money. They're all dying. I think we'll be fine over here. These ships are doing what they need to do. At least I'm safe from ever meeting Gul. I couldn't handle the political talk with him without going full extremist. Fair enough. Oh, I know, but the simple fact of the matter is politics it's very, very complex, and not only is it very complex, it's very personal to people. That's of course why people argue about it, and that's why people become hurt. It is vanilla, Sanis. You're quite right, and that's why we avoid it on the Discord, because the last thing that we want to do is have people be hurt. When they're in a place that should be purely for their enjoyment. And I think to a limited extent, maybe this channel should be the same. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if people are interested in... If people are genuinely interested in my political views, what I ascribe to, what I don't ascribe to, I can make independent videos about that. Of course I can. And as I hope you might think of me, I'm a relatively reasonable man, so I'm not going to... I'm probably not going to say anything that's, really bizarre, but at the same time, is that really what you want? You're here to watch games, aren't you? Gul, build your Titan. Yes, dear. I will build the Titan. Well, we're going to need a little bit more of everything. Yeah, that'll do the job. Let's grab one of those, that's fine. Right, let's see what we're missing out on. We haven't quite got enough of anything. Bring that down to 5. We've got nearly enough cash. However, we're really missing out on that. So let's take that, 400, maybe 500, 7,600. Okay, that looks to be about where we want to be. We will let our economy continue to develop organically for a little bit, and then hopefully we'll be able to get that Titan that we've been talking about.
Hostile forces are everywhere.
Squad leader here.
Now somewhere,
Enemy forces have arrived.
there's the migrator. Oh, let's just build another one.
Hostile fleet detected.
Oh. Stop it. There we go. Let's have a few more of those. I'll see you later, Cryptic. Oh no, I enjoy all the games I play. All the games I play. I wouldn't play a game, and I certainly wouldn't stream a game unless I enjoyed it or I intended to enjoy it. Sometimes I might play the odd game that I end up not enjoying that I think I'm going to enjoy. That's the nature of life, I suppose. Well, let's get over here. Good. Thank you. I know. I'm full of good ideas. Full of something. Oh, Joseph, I've never been afraid of opposition to my views. One of the keystones that I try and keep to is that I try and understand other people's views. Some people's views are diametrically opposed to mine. There are some that I simply can't accept. Of course, I can accept what they're saying, but there are some views that are so outside of my realm of understanding that I simply wouldn't be able to understand that view fully. Okay, that's all looking good. No concerns there. We're going to have this planet soon. Everybody happy. Oh, I see. Is this why you're all leaving, is it? Do you want to tell me about Article 13? I'm quite interested about that. And tell me what it is, what it means, and what practical effects it'll have. In your own words, as simply as you can. Oh my, more pirates. Yay, I guess. I'm gonna have to. Oh, sugar. I'm hoping that they bypass this planet. I'm really hoping that they bypass this planet and they go for this one. That would actually be better for me. Come on, Jarun, what are you doing?
Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
That's fairly similar to me, Winterwolf. Yes. Views that that countermand the value of life, I think, is perhaps how I would describe it. I cannot understand that. And that's while I might listen to what somebody says, I wouldn't be able to understand how they came to that view. And that's something that I would truly, truly struggle with.
Destination locked in. Structure complete.
I think that pirate raid's going to be fine as well. It's not really causing us any difficulty. And this one is more or less done with. I'm sorry that I keep having to spend our money, which is preventing us somewhat from getting what we want. Yeah, that looks... Yeah, we're pretty close. We're pretty close. Well, what kind of games are you recommending these days? Do you know, I don't get nearly as many game recommendations as I used to. That's something I'd certainly be interested in receiving from you folks. Why did this just... Who spent the metal? Who spent it?
Our ships have left phase space.
It's probably me, wasn't it? Nearly draconian. We're about 50 metal off. Pit people. Okay, I'll certainly look at that. Vorik just simply recommends all of the games, so well, that's useful. Vorik was playing a bit of the new DayZ patch earlier, I think 0.63 experimental. How was it, Vorik? Tell us all about it. Are we surviving? Well, kind of. Alright, looks like we're going to need more defences. We've got our Titan building now, folks, which is all sorts of lovely. Your plans? World domination. Simple plans, effective. Is this Article 13 is being voted for on the 20th this month, and it's really bad for everyone that uses the internet. You see, a lot of people are saying it's very negative, but I need more specifics in order for me to be able to understand it a little bit more.
Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
Performance-wise, it's great. Character moves around very well. That's good. How's the gunplay? I was a little bit concerned about the gunplay, Vorik.
Structure complete. Planet lockdown complete.
Where's my Titan? Ah, look, we've taken over this world. How nice.
Metal is required.
Well, as soon as we get the Titan, we're just going to roll it in to probably here. We'll have a look at the Adjun Imperials, see what's going on with them. I need to get the Long Dong map. Okay. Vampire looks great. Life is Strange, I haven't really looked at, so I'll have to have a look at that, Guardians. I'll certainly have a peek. Jurassic Park Evolution. Max has been playing a vast amount of that. He absolutely adores it. Apparently it's calm most of the time until the raptors get out. Fun, visually very nice. He's a big fan of that game. A big fan of it.
Planet development finished.
So it's something I'm going to have to look at some point. Because of my financial situation, realistically, it's not feasible for me to buy more than one game a month. So I do have to be quite. Ooh, a piece of candy. All right. You want to go? We'll go. Alright, let's get a little bit more weapons research, because I suspect we're about to need it. Battletech, I know that Bane's a fan of it. Where are you going?
Jump sequence initiated.
BSG Deadlock. Again, it's another game I haven't got because Bane got it. And what I effectively decided to do was any games that Bane had and he was playing on the channel, I decided to not get, because one, it was financially more viable for me to operate in that way, and also get good content on the channel. So, but now I will have to consider getting it. In the midst of building a set of Space Marine armor, says Graham. That's cool, man. Slow going, but it'll be worth it. Have you ever looked at cosplay yourself? Not really. I'm more of a lurker. Let's see how this Titan's doing. She is more than half done. My girl. Right, here we go. Frank Sinatra here is about to have a bad day. Alright, we've got a couple of upgrades to do. Let's take one of those. Let's improve our combat swarms. Yes, run you cowards! Pirate cutthroats over here again? Ay, ay, ay. Caramba, fuego donde? What I do have to recommend to you is, after he returns, play some more games with Mr. Shackleton, which is of course the XP Gamers. I'd love to. Shaq is a very busy man, so we do struggle in that regard, particularly as much of his gaming is done late at night for him. Also, he's got a very well-defined schedule, particularly in comparison to me, because I just kind of do what I want. I very much treat my channel as a bit of fun, whereas of course Robert or Shaq, it's professional for him. It is his livelihood, so he very much has to pick and choose his battles. He has to think, okay, what's going to get him the maximum views, what's going to get him the best CRM. Sins isn't going to be that, so it would be dependent on the game that he wanted to play. If I was fortunate enough to play with him again, I really get on very well with Shaq, and it's a shame that we haven't played together for such a long time, because I really like the guy. But as I say, he is a professional, and this is his job. He's in a very different life situation than I am. Oh, it's not Lurker, it's Stalker. Oh, good. It's more than likely to affect Britain. What is more than likely to happen is most EU law, even after we've left the EU, will be largely applied in Britain, I suspect. And the reason for that is because we desperately want to continue trading with Europe. Of course we do. So we're going to end up with a lot less power than we had in the European Union, because we will no longer be able to exercise the veto, and we'll largely be subject to a lot of the laws that they have, in order to ensure that we are in the best possible position for trading with them. Yes, I... Oh, hello. We must hurry. It's Vasari death time. Okay, let's see what our orders might just be here. We can't take them all yet. We needs to be tier 6 to unlock them all. So let's take dense comp sites, and we will also take... Ooh, a bit of desperation. That sounds fun. Some hostile fleets. Looks like the Greens aren't really very interested in us, which is very good. Very good. We've got some pirates coming through this way, but it looks like they're coming through this gravity well. Our fleet is here waiting for them. Based on current figures, Europe is on the up, I'm afraid to say. There's a lot of British propaganda that's currently saying that Europe is failing, everything's going wrong for them, but it's simply not true, I'm afraid. based on the figures alone. From a societal perspective, I couldn't speak about Europe. I'm a little bit removed from Europe by virtue of the fact that I live in the UK. Societally, it might be going downhill, but from an economic perspective, it's actually getting stronger. Oh, I've got a little bit of a man crush on Elon Musk. I must admit, I really like his ethos. I think Elon Musk is a guy I would. I think I'd probably give my right nut to work for him. To be honest with you, I think he's an incredible man. Not necessarily because of his intelligence, but because of his drive. He has a vision, and he does everything that he humanly can to see it done. And that is a wonderful thing to see in a person. When you say Leah is the best country in the world, do you mean Australia? Well, that's already the case. Gross up. Should the owners of the base content should Stardock suggest to me, or suggest to YouTube that they didn't want their content shared, then YouTube would be obliged to copyright strike me. I genuinely don't think things like that will happen. It wouldn't make sense. Who's sieging my planet? That's unacceptable behavior. Ah, it's nothing concerning. The Maw is ready. I like that, Tozza. I like it. Says, I'd crawl naked on my stomach through broken glass just to get close to Elon Musk. Also, I want to go to Mars. Screw you guys, I'm gonna hit it. Lovely.
Ooh, look. Come here, you sausages.
Why do we delay?
Please stick around and die. Boom! It's shooty time. They are, of course, repairing each other, quite effectively, in fact. The delay on Gull Stream would be terrible on Mars. On Mars, no one can hear Gull scream. Yes, now destroy it!
Resources for the taking.
Eat it! This ship is not going down. She is not having any of it. Right, look, we need better weapons. More guns.
Hostile
She's nearly gone. She's nearly gone. Anything else I need to concern myself with? No. Seems okay. Oh, hello. A couple of enemy ships there, but that's fine. Is she dead? Have we killed her? Come on! See it done! And her! Nearly. Nearly. Damn it. Now, burn their world. Wonderful. Probably shouldn't take such pleasure in the destruction of somebody else's world, but you know how it is. Let's take some of these, some of these, some of these. One of those, one of these. Right. Do I have any coffee left? Folks, I'm going to take a couple of minutes because I need to refill my coffee. I'll think about any other subjects that you'd like to talk about during the course of the stream because I'm really enjoying chatting with you. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with fresh coffee and hopefully a fresh dose of energy. Hey folks, I'm back. I'm just going to read up on the chat for a moment. Talking about Earth-Mars delay in time. People wanting to go to Iceland or Norway. Interesting. Gul, the triggering. I don't think I'm too easily triggered. I do know that my stream is suffering a little bit for speed, so if that continues, I might just have to restart my home hub and then come back to you in a few minutes. Oh, Joseph, why? why the screaming? The blur is real. Yes, it certainly appears to be that way. Right, I am going to reset my home hub, and I'll restart the stream in about 5 minutes. Oh, no, it's fine again, we're okay. I think it's going to resolve itself in a moment. Let's see if any of our capital ships are close to dying. No, they're not. We'll take these planets out and we will move on to the next one. Excellent stuff. I should probably mention again, I mentioned it right at the start of the stream. Oh, the bounty on me has been depleted. How lovely. I mentioned it right at the start of the stream. If you are enjoying the look of Sins of a Solar Empire and you don't already have it, it is currently on offer for $19.99 with all of its DLC, which is a pretty good deal. You can click on the link in the description below or on my latest... Ooh, what is it? Yes. My latest Twitch post. There is a link there. Now, I get a kickback if you do decide to buy Sins and all of its DLCs of, I believe it's 30% of the value of the package, which is quite nice. Hello, Draconian. Again. Looks like we've nearly killed everything here. Oh, Declan, you've got a curry. What kind of curry? Tell me all about it. I'm really hungry, actually. I haven't eaten since lunchtime. I fully intended to have something to eat before the stream started, but I was playing around with some, with Adobe After Effects. Without delay. Jara Migrator, I would like you to take this planet. Let's see if we can ensure that our planets are being... Oh, it's only a seeker vessel. What's going on over here? That's just a single enemy vessel, although it does appear that we've kind of lost some of our defences. So let's build another one. Oh, sausages. That is not ideal. Let's go with remote assembly. Let's see if we can get that done. And then maybe we can get a nice big station here. Here we are at the enemy homeworld. Isn't that wonderful? Let's eradicate them. Has anybody fallen yet? No, nobody. I think we might well lose Thekla. Chicken tikka masalas from Sainsbury's. Okay, good stuff. Draconian, are you sure about that? The last thing I want people to do is to unnecessarily spend money on me. I'd certainly love to play it. It looks thoroughly enjoyable. But what I don't want people to do is I don't want people to spend beyond their means ever. but particularly if I'm involved, because I wouldn't want to be responsible for you suffering any form of hardship. And even if that hardship is as simple as you not being able to buy a pint one month, that would certainly not be something that I would want to happen. Do I say sausage a lot? Tozis just said the magic word was spoken. Sausage. Is it something I say loads? If it is, I apologise. I did not realise. Although I am quite amused by it. Right, let's get these stations down so they can't build any more ships. I quite like most curries, Declan. I quite enjoy Thai style food because I think they've got a really interesting balance going on of kind of sweet, sour, salt, and of course spice. I really do enjoy Thai food as a rule. I enjoy most food. One of my favourite ever foods that I've ever eaten is called lafette. And it's a Burmese dish. It's actually kind of eaten as a pudding in some ways, or a palate cleanser. But it's made out of fermented tea leaves and various other salads and nuts in order to give you an interesting crunch while you eat. It really is a great dish. Yeah, look up lafette. It's Laphet. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. It's very, very rare in the UK because not many places sell fermented tea leaves or indeed make them. So that does make it quite challenging to find. Where are you going? No, go this way. I want you to build... Oh, my gravy. Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, do I? I'm probably not going to stop, I'll be honest. Stardock is doing deals on other games as well if you've already got Sins. I think within that same link there's also Ashes of the Singularity, which is more of a Command and Conquer land-based style game. That's also £20 with all of its DLCs. And last but not least, and probably the most amusing of the bunch in some ways, is Offworld Trading Company with all of its DLCs. I think based on the little play that I had the other day of it, I might be tempted to say that that would be the most enjoyable. If you already have Sins, of course, because I'm always going to say Sins is the best. I'm a Sins modder. You don't like salt and pepper? That's interesting. Ah, Slav food. Okay. What's that? What are the best examples of Slav food? I really don't know. If you're ever in Bridgenorth, there's a Thai restaurant called Thai Arts, and they're cheap and delicious. Oh, good to know. Sins is really a great game, and I do think most of the subscribers to my channel probably have Sins. Oh, it looks like all the naughty men have left. That's good. Oh well. This planet is not too far from down, which I'm, of course, delighted about. We've got a lot of cash at the moment, so why don't we give ourselves the capacity to have a few more ships? It would just be rude not to, wouldn't it, folks? I think it would be great to have a Volkoras Devastator. Perhaps... Oh, why not? We'll have a Jerusalem Evacuator. Don't really have much in the way of...
An enemy's capital has been destroyed.
An enemy's capital has been destroyed.
Lovely. Yeah, the other victory conditions, well, they're not so bad in base sins, but most mods, we can't be arsed with them. Because we don't find that they add a great deal of value to the game, as a rule, and therefore, like, I don't think there are many mods out there that have really concentrated on the other potential victory conditions. EAW is an incredible game. That's my biggest problem with Stellaris. I really like it, but it's very, very time-consuming. It's almost impossibly time-consuming, in my opinion, and that's much of the reason why I haven't really done much with it. It's oh, all this research is taking so long. Why did I go with normal research speeds? Why didn't you warn me, folks? Right, we've taken out the world. Let's just take a quick look if they've quit. They have quit! We have beaten the Oranges, the Adjun Imperials. What's that? Cheburek? What's Cheburek? I'll have to do a Google search of that because I don't know what it is. No, I've never tried Transport Fever, no.
Reconnaissance reveals that a pirate raid is forming.
Uh-oh.
Where do you send us? Your plans?
Right, the migrator is ready, so let's send it and colonize this world. Right, now we're going to do something a little bit risky. Our fleet's coming home, and we're going to try and take out the pirates. Because they are getting right on my wick, ladies and gentlemen. They're on my last nerve, they are. Let's take some overseers. Let's take a couple of one transporter.
More metal is always required, for it seems that you have a constant lack of supply. You sold things rather than bought them, you fool.
More metal is required. Pirate raiders have left their base. Research finished.
XCOM, yeah, very good series. Type Boris in my YouTube search bar. Am I immediately going to be faced with Boris the Blade? Getting bored because I went inward perfection. I'm sorry, I don't fully understand. You must explain yourself to me. Let's bring this fella over here as well. Make it so. Make it so.
Why do we delay?
I've got plenty of ships on the build now. Let's get a few corvettes, maybe a couple of destructors, one destructor. This is in windowed mode. It's so if I need to, I can see what's going on back here. Station. Well, that solves that problem. This planet's fairly safe now. Oh, what's all this? Stop that. Run, migrator.
Good idea.
No. Most of my games are bought through Steam.
Pirate raiders approach one of our planets.
I do have episode 1 of the Game of Thrones, but I don't have any more of them, I'm afraid. Never got round to buying. OBS, what are you doing? This is not good enough, OBS. Has my internet connection dropped? Nope. It's just OBS being OBS. Ah, I know, guys. I'm sorry. My internet connection just went mental. It seems to have unmentaled itself now. No, it hasn't. I'll be back.